Hi, it's Story. Welcome back to DIY Art and Craft. Today I'm going to be making a watercolor floral birthday card for my sister, and it is very beginner friendly since I'm a beginner. I'm following along with a YouTube tutorial by Nia, and I will link to her videos below. She is a great teacher. So what I'm doing is drawing out not the flowers that I'm actually going to paint, but just kind of sizing where everything's going to go on the card. This is a 5x7 card, and so I just want to make sure that I have my layout designed and kind of make sure that I've got room for everything. I am going to erase most of what I put down. I'm going to take this kneaded eraser and just press into the paper, and it removes the... Sometimes you can get it completely off by rubbing it, but I'm going to just erase a few at a time so that I can still see where I'm going. I'm using a very watered down quinacridone magenta by Daniel Smith, and this is a not a Daniel Smith, this is a Strathmore watercolor card. They come in a box of 10 and they're pre-folded, pre-scored with the envelopes. Pretty good quality. I am going to go ahead and paint out my flowers, my buds, my branches, and then I'm going to go ahead and go back over the flowers and the buds repeatedly until I get some dimension and some shading to them and get them to look like they're actual cherry blossoms. One thing that Eugenia described is that when you're doing branches and stems, to kind of, she didn't use the term stutter, but that's how I picture it when I'm doing it in my head. I stutter along the line so that it looks like a branch instead of a straw or something with very straight edges. I have been taking a watercolor course from her over on Skillshare, and it's a basic course, but I just find her to be such a great instructor online. This that I'm painting, that I'm going over right now, I didn't like the color or the thickness of it, so I'm just putting down a lot of water and then pressing down with some paper towel. You could lift out quite a bit of paint. The sooner you do it after you lay it down, the better, and some colors pick up a lot easier than others, but just go ahead and put some clean water on it, and you then use paper towels to pick it up, and you can start over. When you are repainting on that, make sure that you're I'm very impatient, so I didn't let it dry, but I let it dry a bit. But if it's damp at all, it's gonna go ahead and bleed out, and then you're gonna have to go ahead and mop it out again. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint these pieces of the branch back out. These are for the little tiny darker buds, and I'm going to put several of these on along the branch, not really strategically, but because I'm just trying to make sure that I don't have way too much white space and that it's a nice balance. There are a couple of petals that were folded over here, and I really am struggling with this. I'm not getting at all how I'm supposed to make it look like it's folded over. So I tried to add a little shadow and made the area that was folded over lighter, but it looks like dye dipped leaf to me. It doesn't look like a folded over leaf at all. So I'm going to go over this quite a bit until things look the way that I want them to. I'm going to go ahead and finish it off with the stamen in the center of each flower that I'm just going to do in a darker color. I've mixed a little bit of red in with that magenta and a tiny touch of brown to make it deeper and darker. And again, you got to make sure that I did wait until the flowers were very dry before I went ahead and added the stamens in the center of the flower. I'm working on, this is my second video, so I apologize for all my sudden silence. I'm working on trying to figure out how to do the, I've kind of talked through what I'm doing while I record, but then to bring it down from an hour and 20-minute painting into a short enough video that people will want to sit through it, I end up having to do a voiceover, and I'm still not very good at this part. I started painting last August, September by picking up a kit from Let's Make Art. Sarah Cray is also a great teacher. They have lettering boxes also there, and Nicole Miyuki teaches lettering, and so I'm practicing the faux calligraphy that she teaches there by doing taking this Santoro watercolor pen, brush tip pen. It's got a brush tip and a fine tip, and I'm practicing the thin on the up and thick on the down and trying to make it look nice. I did draw where I wanted the happy birthday to go on the front of my card, and I'm going to go ahead and write it out now with this light color of pink. I really love these pens, but they don't have any color names, they don't have any numbers on the pen, there's nothing to identify what color you're getting into or anything until you open the cap and write on a piece of paper. But I'm going to go ahead and write out the happy birthday in this light pink, and then I'm going to dot the I with a little heart. And after I get done with this color, I'm taking a deeper shade and drawing a little bit of a shadow on the on the left side of the letters. And after I'm done with the shadows, I'm going to go ahead and take that light color again and blend it all together. I really like the way it's turning out. In fact, I'm liking the way the card is turning out quite a lot. Her flower of her birth month, which is April, is pansy, and I wasn't finding any that I liked well enough to try to learn how to paint. But I did like these cherry blossoms, and we had a cherry tree in the backyard when we were growing up, so I thought that was kind of the next best thing. I like the way this looks. I'm pleased with it, but I always like to wait until the next day so that, you know, my first impulse is always to throw them away, but the next day I usually like things a little bit better, and I did decide to add another branch to kind of fill it in a little bit more, and so I started from scratch again and drew out another branch on the card here in the upper right hand, and same process, drew the letters, drew the picture, erased it, and then painted. I did draw a couple flowers on the inside, and I hope you like this. Thanks so much for stopping by. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe.